somewhere between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, about 1,000 years before Babylon fell to Persia, a kingdom rose that shouldn't exist, at least, not according to older textbooks. Its people spoke Hurrian, a language with no known relatives, their art looked Mesopotamian, and their administration used Akkadian cuneiform. But its kings had names we associate with the Vedas, the ancient scriptures of India, and its elite warriors swore oaths not to local gods like Ishtar or Ashur, but to Indra, Mitra, Varuna, and the Nasatya twins gods straight out of the Rig Veda.
Ever curious, learn what you love.
This was the Mitanni Empire, and it holds one of the most tantalizing clues about the early Indo-Aryans, long before they reached the Indian subcontinent. Let's rewind to around 1550 BCE. The Bronze Age is at its peak. Egypt's new kingdom is expanding. The Hittites rule Anatolia. Babylonia is in decline, and right in the Fertile Crescent, a new power emerges. Mitanni, its capital Washokani, was likely located in what is now northeastern Syria. Mitanni wasn't huge, but it punched way above its weight, rivaling the great powers of Egypt and the Hittites. Pharaoh Thutmose III campaigned against it. Later, Pharaoh Amenhotep III even married to Mitanni princesses, a clear sign of top-tier diplomacy. Their secret weapon, chariot warfare, and the men who mastered it were called the Marianua warrior aristocracy, whose name meant young heroes in Hurrian. But their language and their gods tell a much deeper story. This is where it gets truly fascinating. In 1906, archaeologists digging in the Hittite capital of Hattusa uncovered a treaty from around 1350 BCE. It was written in Akkadian, the international language of the day. But in the section where the kings swore their oaths, the gods invoked were Mitra, Varuna, Indra, and the Nasatya. These names don't appear in any other Near Eastern religion. They are unambiguously Indo-Aryan, and strikingly close to their Vedic forms. As Dr. Michael Witzel, a leading expert at Harvard, notes, these deities show archaic Indo-Aryan features that predate the split between the Indo-Aryan and Iranian branches of the family. And it's not just the gods. We find technical chariot training terms in Mitanni military texts, like Ekawartna for 1 turn, Terawartna for 3 turns, and Pansawartna for 5 turns. These use Indo-Aryan numerals. Eka is Eka, Tera is Tri, and Pansa is Pank. This strongly suggests that a group of Indo-Aryan-speaking elites, likely specialists in chariot warfare, had integrated themselves into Hurrian society. They didn't rule over the Hurrians. Instead, they became the military aristocracy within the Mitanni state, and their language layer is so old it predates the composition of the Rig Veda itself, placing their migration before 1500 BCE. So, where did they come from? The consensus, reinforced by modern genetic studies, points to the Pontic-Caspian steppe, the vast grasslands north of the Black and Caspian Seas, around 2000 BCE. Waves of pastoralists speaking early Indo-Aryan dialects began moving south. Some went east toward Central Asia, and eventually into India. But another branch turned west, crossing the Caucasus Mountains and entering the Near East. These weren't mass migrations of people. Think of them more like small, mobile bands of elite warriors with superior technology, specifically the light-spoked wheel chariot pulled by trained horses. As historian David W. Anthony argues, chariot warfare was a complex system requiring specialized knowledge in breeding, training, and metallurgy. The Mitanni Marianu were its master practitioners. Crucially, they didn't impose their language on the general population. Hurrian remained dominant. Instead, they contributed a specialized vocabulary, like a linguistic VIP pass, reserved for gods, horses, and war. By 1350 BCE, Mitanni was weakening, torn apart by internal struggles. The Hittite king Suppiluliuma I took advantage of this, installing a man named Shattiwaza as a puppet king. His name, by the way, is pure Indo-Aryan, Shattiwaza, meaning winner of spoils. Then came the Assyrians. Around 1260 BCE, they destroyed Washokani and absorbed Mitanni into their growing empire. The Mitanni state vanished from the map, but its cultural fingerprints lingered. The Marianu warrior class survived in Syria and Canaan, mentioned in later texts. Hurrian religion influenced the Hittite, and most poignantly, this Indo-Aryan layer in Mitanni is our earliest recorded evidence of Vedic deities, appearing 400 years before the Rig Veda was likely even composed. In other words, the gods of the Vedas were being invoked on the banks of the Euphrates, before they were being hymned on the banks of the Sarus. The Mitanni remind us that ancient history isn't just about borders and battles, it's about layers. Languages over languages, gods over gods, and elites merging with cultures, not just erasing them. In the quiet lines of a broken treaty, signed in dust and fear over 3,000 years ago, we can hear the echo of a shared heritage stretching from the Ganges to the Tigris. So next time someone says that Indo-Aryan history begins in India, you'll know the story starts much earlier and much further west. If you found this dive into Bronze Age intrigue worthwhile, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. Have any questions? Drop them in the comments below. I read every single one. Stay curious, and remember, the past is never as simple as it seems, but it's always more interesting. Thanks for watching.